Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Deborah Rowe. I am the Program Manager for People's Action for Clean Energy, also called PACE. And we are a Connecticut nonprofit with the goal of helping all 169 towns in Connecticut transition to clean, renewable energy. Today, we are presenting the second part in our four-part series. Today's portion is all about the HES audit, Home Energy Solutions. And Leticia Colon de Mejias is here today with us from Energy Efficiency Solutions, and she is an expert on the HES audit.
Thank you for joining us here today. So, yo soy Leticia Colon de Mejias. I'm the Energy Efficiency Building Scientist of the Year for the United States of America, and also I'm the owner of Energy Efficiency Solutions. We're an award-winning energized Connecticut contractor, and we serve the whole state of Connecticut. So we've won all types of accolades, and I won't belabor us on this, but basically our focus is really helping to reduce energy burdens, to remove health burdens in people's homes, and to provide gainful employment for people in the state of Connecticut. So what is Home Energy Solutions? Well, Home Energy Solutions has a large network of contractors that are specifically trained and required to meet very high standards of service, as well as high levels of insulation and high levels of customer expectation and customer service. We explain the benefits of reducing energy consumption when we meet our customers and the offerings of the Energized Connecticut program. But it all starts with a, hi, I am so-and-so, and this is my badge, and we're here to complete your energy assessment. We really focus in on connecting with homeowners and helping them understand their home as a system, because most of us, whilst we use energy all hours of the day and night, don't think much about it. Just like air, we only think about energy when it isn't readily available. So we start with the safety walkthrough of the home, checking for hazardous materials like mold, asbestos, lead, or gas leaks. And the good news is that the state of Connecticut is working on a way to help people remove those barriers to having home energy solutions upgrades. If we do find these hazardous materials, we both inform the customer or the landlord, or both, and then we provide them information on where they connect to services to help resolve those issues, or where they can connect to funding as well. Once we complete that, we talk about how we're going to help reduce your energy bill, because amazingly, making a retrofit to your home, apartment, or condo, or building, or school, or anywhere can result in up to 30% savings just from air sealing and insulation. We want to help you draw down the consumption and keep your building more comfortable. And this is us setting up a blower door actually at someone from PACE, Mark Scully's house. And so what we do is we want to quantify how much air is moving through your home that you don't want to move through your home. And we're going to bring the air movement in your home down to 1 to 3 air changes per hour, which is where you want to be, so that your heating system, no matter what it runs on or what system it is, doesn't have to keep turning on and turning on in the winter, drawing extra energy. It also means that the temperature in your home is going to stay more consistent, thus you will feel more comfortable. We work in 2 programs. There's market rate and there's Home Energy Solutions income eligible. And they offer similar things, but not the same. And so I'll get into some of those specific things. In the IE program, there are free LED light bulbs that will continue past January of this year. We also install low flow shower heads and water measures. So we have handhelds, we have rain shower heads, we've got silver ones and white ones. There's many choices for the customers to choose from, and it's really much about your choice as a customer. We're going to replace any fixtures in your home that have less than 1.5 or that provide more water than 1.5 gallon per minute, and replace it with a lower using energy water head or faucet on your sink, so that we draw down both your waste of water, which is going to save you money on your water bill, but you're also not heating that water when you're showering, washing dishes, or washing your hands. So you're saving on your water heating and domestic hot water demands as well. We also install hot water pipe wrap on all of the pipes in the hot water up to 3 feet or 6 feet out from your heater to keep that water warm as it's traveling through the pipes. And we reset your water heater to the right temperature to make sure that you're not overheating the water and demanding more energy than you need today. We check all of your combustion appliances, so that's your domestic hot water and your heating systems, to make sure that they're running safely, that they're vented properly, that they're not backdrafting or leaking CO, because your safety is most important to us. After we verify that everything is running properly, then we move on to the actual work of calibrating the fan and the blower door and doing the guided air sealing process. I like to talk about this as the ABCs of air sealing. We're going to go up in your attic where you probably never go, and we're going to look for cracks and leaks and air seal those. We're going to go to your basement, again, where most people aren't hanging out unless it's finished, and we're going to seal any air leaks in that as well. And then we're going to go to your conditioned spaces, as in your living areas, under your kitchen sinks, your bathroom sinks, where that cable guy ran that line when everybody had cable, your electric wiring and plumbing penetrations, to make sure that we seal those gaps and cracks to keep the home consistently warm or cool, depending on what season it is. We're going to run the blower door again to make sure that we know how much work we've done, how much air we've stopped flowing, and to stay in the right safety zone of airflow in your home. We're going to do the same thing for your duct work if you have ducts in your home as well, and seal those as we go along. Sometimes we use things like thermal imagers or smoke sticks. It really depends on the home, but I like to bring that up in case you see that tool when we're out at your house. We're going to verify your insulation levels in your attic, your basement, and your walls to make sure that your home is properly insulated. And if it isn't properly insulated, then we do these awesome things like connecting you with rebates and incentives offered through Energize Connecticut to help afford the cost of those upgrades. And some low-income households qualify for some of these assistances, such as the free energy assessment, the free air sealing, the free light bulbs, the free water showers, and low-cost insulation. Sometimes the insulation offsets the cost of additional upgrades like windows or even HVAC replacements such as heat pumps. Each home is different, and so your lead technician will assess your home with you based on what your home's needs are at the time of our visit and what your desires are as the customer, because you might want to focus on one area versus another, so you'll be participating in that discussion. There are rebates such as $1.07 off every square foot of installed insulation, rebates for your window replacements up to $50 if you have single pane windows, or if you want to go from double pane to triple pane. The triple pane windows, are $100 off the triple pane windows. We've already talked about testing your HVAC system and your handler to make sure it's properly sized as well. But when we're doing that, we're going to look at the efficiency of your system and say, if you have, for example, an oil system, maybe you want to convert to a smart mini split, a ductless or a ground source heat pump, and we would explain that option to you and the supports there are in the program. And I'll review those with you quickly today. This is an example of duct sealing, and I just wanted to show it because we do two types of duct sealing. We use 181 tape and we use mastic. They both work very well to seal ducts, and they can make sure that the heat or cold going through your system gets to the room you want it to go to. Some of the things we uncover in your home are things like disconnected ducts in your attic, which may be sucking in dirty air from your attic and unconditioned space and pumping it into like your children's bedroom, for example. Or we see disconnects in crawl spaces that are, again, pulling in dirty air to your system and pumping it into a living space. So we would reconnect those ducts and then seal them, saving you energy and making your system more efficient, but also helping your health. It helps avoid things like asthma, for example, by not pulling in dust and contaminants from unconditioned spaces like basements or attics. We quantify that work by using a duct blaster to show you the reduction in where we've reassessed your system and fixed it in a way to help reduce your consumption and save you energy while making your home more comfortable. At the end of this work, we review all the work with you at what we call a table wrap-up, and we discuss the additional options there are for you that are supported by the Energize Connecticut program. These things include Tier 2 work such as insulation, window upgrades, additional duct sealing beyond what the program offers, HVAC upgrades, and retrofits like mini splits and heat pumps, which do, I have to say, run at a silent mode. And I actually converted my 1850s oil home in the process of reducing my consumption through air sealing, insulating my home, drawing down my energy bills from $6,000 in oil heat a year to $3,000. And then once I had done that, I actually was able to, since I had such an efficient home, install this heat pump. And now I run on solar run heat pumps in my 1850s farmhouse. It's really awesome and inspiring. It's also wicked comfortable. And that's what I was wanting to do. And I saved energy and I feel good about my choices in relationship to myself and the planet. There's 0% interest financing offered through Green Bank programs that we directly connect you to through the Home Energy Solutions program. And that 0% financing can be put on your energy bill and be up to $25,000 per home, making these upgrades possible. Homeowners are also provided a DOE Home Energy Report, a Department of Energy score, which tells you where you are today. And then after you do upgrades, you can get another one and see how much you've improved your score. I think that's very exciting as well. There's no pressure when we come into your home. We're not going to be high pressure salespeople. All we do is inform you on the opportunities to save energy, the resources to support your choices, and then we hope to connect you to people who can do that work for you. And sometimes we do the work ourselves. We're there to provide guidance and connect you to the rebates and provide examples of the work that we do. So income eligible is the same program I just discussed, except you apply for the program and provide information on your income level and how many people live in your home. And then we help you qualify, and those things are online at eesgogreen.com by using examples of income verification, like an SSI letter, a check, a bank statement, pay stubs, EBT cards are also accepted as a form. Or if you have no income at all, you could sign a no income affidavit, and then you would be acceptable for this program and services. You'll get all the core services I just described in Home Energy Solutions, plus the free LED light bulbs for all of your incandescent bulbs in your home. And you may be qualified for low-cost home improvements as well, such as getting your attic up to an R30. Actually, it's an R49 now, to be honest, this is wrong. Installing insulation in your attic walls and basement, upgrading your windows if they qualify, and even sometimes replacing your old inefficient HVAC system as part of that program. The installation in HESI is professionally installed by the contractor that comes out to your home, or a subcontractor that directly reports to them. And we do get inspected sometimes on the job or post-inspected. The state of Connecticut wants to ensure that what you're getting is what we said we were installing. And so you can know that there is a validation process through this program as well. Again, there's no cap on the number of windows in the income eligible program, but we are looking to replace windows that are inefficient. So that's important to us. And the rebates are based on the fuel type and the condition of your system. And so I'm going to show a little bit of that. Some refrigerators qualify for online purchases that the customer makes themselves and has delivered to their home directly. We would qualify you at the time of your visit, and then the customer is responsible for following through on that. We also provide community education like this here today for free to help customers understand and connect with the benefits and services of the programs, which are really phenomenal. I say it's like everyone is paying for this insurance policy, but then we're not using it to go to the doctor. So take advantage of that policy that you're paying for on your energy bill anyways. There's up to $1.70 per square foot off insulation projects that are approved, and that must be done at the time of the visit, where we assess what you have. We take pictures of your insulation levels. We submit that actual data and information to the utilities, and then they have to approve and qualify that upgrade. But it happens, it works, as long as we do what we're supposed to and you allow us in the attic and basement and to look into the walls with our borescopes and our special tools. There's lots of other cool things like replacements of windows and appliances and inefficient gas furnaces and boilers. And at the end of the story, the thing is most important is that these heat pump rebates can be up to $15,000 per home if you qualify with an electric or oil system. But even gas customers can have access to these rebates at different levels. I think that's most exciting.
Well, Leticia, I always have a question. There's a lot of folks who rent a home. So they either rent an apartment or they're in a single family or in a rental situation. You can do your work, but there's a protocol, right?
Yes, very important. If you are a renter, you can still have these services. In fact, Connecticut even has a law that says you're allowed to have these services, which is kind of cool. What we do in the case of a renter is, if you're income eligible, we would still have you fill out the form as the renter, but the landlord actually signs off on this form. It's a real benefit to your landlord. And what we find is that when we have discussions with landlords and explain to them that these services are no cost to the landlord, then they're generally happy and excited about that. So really what we would do is have you go through the same process of calling and apply for services, fill out the application, or you might not need an application for income eligible. You might just want the service. In that case, your landlord would just sign off on that very simply. And we do the work of connecting with your landlord, or you can do it yourself. But we are here to support. If you're doing a deeper upgrade than just the core services, again, the landlord would sign off on those upgrades, such as windows or insulation. But the landlord generally doesn't have to come out of pocket to support those upgrades. And I think that's really important for landlords to understand that that is being qualified by the renter who pays the electric or heating bill. But the landlord gets the benefit of their property being serviced because they're helping that customer who's living there.
What you're saying is that if I'm a renter, I have to check with my landlord, but I can get new windows, which obviously will benefit me, but it will benefit the landlord as well. So it's kind of
course, Bernie, because if you don't live there forever, then
right.
Your landlord gets to keep the windows. You don't take them with you. But the program is meant to help the utility bill payer. So in some cases, the utility bill might be paid through the rent, for example. So in that case, we still can service you, even if the bill is in your landlord's name. We just have to get your landlord's permission. And the key really is about communication I think about the benefits, about the demand reduction, about the energy savings. And one more point that we never talk about in these rooms, and I think is critical to understand, our overall cost of energy is based on our collective demand. So by each of us drawing down our energy demands through these retrofitting things, these action-based approaches, or even by switching off our lights or turning down our heats once the home temperature is stable, then we actually draw down demand for everyone and lower the cost of energy overall per kilowatt or per heating source. The cost of energy is on the rise all across the nation and throughout the world because we run off of finite sources. That drawing down demand helps us in our own homes, but helps us all collectively. And so I bring that to our attention. I think it's such an important piece of information that we sometimes forget, that doing the right thing individually helps us all collectively.